finishing Trump on Theo Vaughn. 71 days out from election. Light news. And then we do Sunday Funday. New Jubilee and more. Get in now. Damn, there's like a shit ton of fucking blast off memes, dude. What's happening? There's so many blast off memes that you guys send me. Normally there isn't like this many blast off memes. Can you please cover the knife attack in Germany? Right wingers are losing it here. What? No, dude, no, I don't want to do that for Sunday. Okay. That seems a bit crazy. Summerlee agree with you on Face the Nation today? Okay, bro, why'd you send me an Instagram post though? Like, send me the fucking Face the Nation YouTube video. Like, Instagram is the worst way to consume video content on the stream. You guys know this already. Okay, here. We blasted off. I'm going to look at this Brad edit, and then we're going to get into it, okay? The Bart edit is Brass Summer. San Francisco Opera House right now. IOC Local 16. Hell yeah. Okay. Brass Summer means something so different to me now with the DNC. It no longer means the same thing, I feel like. Professional eater versus grizzly bear hot dog eating contest. That's incredible. Bro, right wingers in Germany are calling for mass deportations. Bro, I don't even want to talk about that, dude. I mean, it's just like, I don't want to fucking talk about that. Edward Gaming 1 Valorant champs, China #1 as always. Dude, China's having a moment right now. I'm the person that made the TikTok of your chipmunk voice, and I regret to inform you that it has over 200,000 views now. You're cooking me. And yes, I know that SZA noticed me in perhaps the worst possible way that anyone has ever been noticed. You never want to be noticed by SZA like that. Okay? But sometimes it be like that. Sometimes you get noticed by SZA and you're looking maybe a little neurodivergent, okay? Maybe you're looking a little, it's like a real messy compilation, you know? And I don't mean like messy, M-E-S-S-Y. I mean like Messi, the GOAT. You know how he has like those autism compilations? You know what I'm talking about? Basically what fucking, basically what happened to me. Have you tried those Zero Sugar Jolly Ranchers? Yeah, I have them. I've never really tried them though. I have a bag from a while ago and I just straight up have not had that. Have you seen this commercial yet? Actual Newsmax commercial?
A message from the 45th president of the United Ponds of America.
Let's make fishing great again, okay?
He's here. Everyone's favorite fish, Trumpy Trout.
I can't tell if this is a meme or if they like
from the
actually
45th president of the United.
Wait. There is no fucking way this is a real ad, right? Bro, people are going to try to fuck this thing. It's just like straight up. People are going to try to fuck this thing, bro. Just when you think like, could it get weirder? Could these things get like, could the Trump support get fucking weirder? You immediately find out like, yeah, no, there is a new level that they will get to. You might not think so, but you got super lucky with Chicago weather at DNC. We are going to be under a heat advisory basically all week. Yeah.
Ponds of America.
Let's make fishing great again, okay?
He's here. Everyone's favorite fish, Trumpy Trout.
No one has ever seen a fish like me.
Trumpy Trout is an animatronic talking fish with a big personality.
I am.
Imagine catching your dad face fucking the Trump fish. Bro, this seems like a bit. This seems like a fucking bit. Like I feel like a Trump supporter didn't make this. I feel like a liberal made it. New sentence alert. Sometimes when you have a new sentence that is locked and loaded in the chamber, it's best to just not let it out. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that I think about quite a bit when people are like, yo, you're like wishing this into existence. And like, I sometimes feel like I have too much power of that sort and I need to be careful with my predictions. But this also is like in that same vein where it's like, maybe you shouldn't say a thing like that because what if it becomes real? But overall, I just don't think that it's like I just don't think that it's like a thing that like right-wing Republicans made.
The hugely bigliest fish in the pond.
Watch his fins flap and his large mouth move as he makes speech after speech in high-fidelity sound.
Some bass, a bad fish, crazy fish, criminal fish, and druggy fish. But some bass are good fish, and I only love some of them.
Mount him to your wall or use the built-in stand to display him proudly on your desk. Now you'll never miss a Trumpy Trout rally.
I'm building a new pond, and the bass will pay for it.
Set him to motion activated to surprise his fans.
My fins are big. I have the biggest fins. No fish have fins like me.
Or turn him on and let his inspiring words delight the crowd.
All the fish love Trumpy. They just love me.
Catch Trumpy Trout for yourself or someone you love.
Oh, they can try, but they can't. They just can't.
Treat yourself to this limited edition Trumpy Trout for just $59.99. It comes with your official Make Fishing Great Again certificate of authenticity. Order right now and we'll instantly upgrade you to the deluxe version with desktop stand and Trumpy Trout jingle free.
He is the greatest trout with our biggest fish.
And for even more fun, we'll give you a discount when you buy more than one.
We got the shoreline secure. No bass in this pond.
Supplies are limited, so don't miss your chance to hook the greatest fish of all time.
I am the greatest trout, and there is no doubt.
This is a limited edition collectible from Top.
It's real? No, I know it's real, man. I get it. Like, someone made it. Oh my God. I understand that someone made it, but I don't think it was a fan. I think it was a liberal that's like trolling Republicans. Now, they might still end up buying it, but I don't think it's like an actual Top Dog Direct. Mighty Putty, Mighty Mend It, Clean Zone, Campbell Posture, Cane Tips. Wait, what the fuck? Okay, this does actually make this look a lot more real. Wait, hold on. Wait, what? Okay, this actually kind of makes it seem more real. It doesn't make it seem more real. There's a trademark for it in US patents. I don't think that a Republican grifter like made this. I think it's like a liberal making fun of Republicans. Like, it's giving TrueAnon January 6th board game.
Dog Direct. Order now at TrumpyTrout.com. That's TrumpyTrout.com.
What would the Troutski one say? I don't know. Play it on stream when TrueAnon board game. What the fuck is this? Stop hating. It's a great product. Have you seen these yappers on the timeline? What is happening? This Egyptian American actor is a much better fit for Cobra than who One Piece live action picked. I genuinely believe they purposely avoided casting any errors for the Nefertari family because of Zionism. You can't convince me otherwise. Wait, what? I highly doubt that. Like, I know for a fact that is not a consideration, actually. This Cuomo DNC clip? Yes, I did. Trumpy Trout will be a John Oliver bit. Mark my words. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it. The downside of more leftists enjoying One Piece? I know. They're ruining it. They're going to ruin it. I feel like I might have... I don't know. To be fair, they've cast the Indians for everything where Arabs could have been casted. I don't think it was like that. Nah, man, I haven't seen that many people upset about it. Yeah. Like, I don't really care. I'm gonna be honest. They're having fun. They're having a One Piece brass summer. Northernline called himself a leftist influencer. So sorry, man. I have a new leftist streamer. Dude, this is not a crow debate. Have you heard about the company called Reflect Orbital that's starting Q4 2025? Yeah, it sounds fake. Like, I feel like their plan is insane and also probably illegal. It's going to put mirrors in space to reflect light back to a 3-mile diameter for 4 minutes at night to turn night into day. That shit feels hella illegal. Yeah, I don't think it's real. Yeah, this welding homework is kicking my fucking ass. Miller Open Book needs to be banned. Did you talk about my country, Lebanon? Not yet, but I will in a moment. A journalist just found a connection between Premier Gun Shows LLC and Lockheed Martin. Okay, I'm not going to watch that, chat. I'm sorry. Chatter, I apologize, but that's probably not something that I'm going to be diving into anytime soon. Okay? All right. Anyway, your hair is very girly pop today, Hassan. Thank you. So here's what I wanted to talk about real quick before we move on. Okay? When mom finds the poop sock, stop fucking sending me silly ass links. Ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, Harry Daniels, the TikToker, made a TikTok where he sang to me. Okay, he made a TikTok where he's stop linking me this dumb shit, bro. Oh my god, take a day off. You keep linking the same shit over and over again. What the fuck? Why am I clicking on this dumbass shit? I'm tired. I played too much basketball this morning. Holy shit. Bro, SZA knows who you are? No, I don't think she knows who I am. I think she just saw me looking afraid. But basically, as you guys may or may not know, okay? Let me see if I can find this. Okay. What is his Instagram? Harry Daniels? Because it was on his Instagram. He posted a reel of me and him. This is the reel. Lamau, he's so concerned. Please, it's over. It's over. He's so fine, it makes me sick. He's voting Republican now. I can't even say anything because this is genuinely how I act in public. Bro, he's so uncomfortable. The autism in me recognizes the autism in him. He thought you were Twitch chat. The fact that Hassan was literally kicked out of his suite a few minutes before this. Can you imagine being kicked out of the convention? You got passed with 60,000 viewers, more than NBC, by the way, because they don't want you sharing your opinions with that platform. They even strip you of your access, which is completely unprecedented. And then he shows up to serenade you right after you were a victim of classic censorship. Bro gained lost and regained consciousness twice in this video. I saw the blind curiosity in Hassan Piker's eyes while you serenaded him. My friend works with SZA. She's very online, so she might actually know who you are. Well, if she does, she doesn't follow me, so I think I'm going to follow her now. I mean, you're supposed to be awkward. And I talked about this already on the pod, on the next episode of the Fear End podcast. The thing is, did you know who he was before this? I had seen one of his videos before when he like serenaded Obama. Not the hands, bro. Don't do it to him. Oh my God. Okay. Well, this is, yeah, he got Biden, Obama, and Kamala. I know. Here, look.
Please tell me I'm your national. Red, white, blue is in the sky, summer's in the air, baby, heaven's in your eye. I'm your national.
Bro, he's got he had that death grip that old folks have. He was gripping it, dude. He got the old man death grip on this one.
What did you think? President Obama, can I sing for you? Go ahead. We are the new Americana. High on legal marijuana. Raise on Biggie and Nirvana. We are the new Americana.
Yeah, Obama reacted so much better than me. It's crazy.
Your head is corny with that Illuminati mess. Paparazzi catch my fly and my cocky fresh. I'm so reckless when I rock this Givenchy dress, period. Yes. Hi, it's nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Well, yes.
So anyway, yeah, my reaction is the worst out of everyone else. I knew it was going to happen. I never seen this guy, but I first thought it was a troll, and I saw this professional looking filmer. Yeah, no. So I knew it was going to happen at some point throughout the day. But the reason why I was doing this is because, like, obviously I was thinking like, oh, I'm going to react like a straight man, right? And I don't mean like straight gay. I mean straight man in the comedy sense, right? Like where you're supposed to be like weirded out a little bit. But there is a level of like, can we move on, please? Sheltered Rosebud, make it stop. Please move on. Can we move on, please? Okay, listen. Part of the reason why I had that look on my face is because as you guys know, it happened at a time when a lot of other chaotic things were occurring. It happened at a time when a lot of other chaotic things were occurring. So I didn't know what my face looked like in that moment, but I guess it looked a little too good in terms of It looked a little too good in terms of, looked a little too convincing in terms of how upset I looked. Anyway, new polling has FDU poll finds race and gender push Harris above Trump nationally. Damn, dude, Trump's going to get extra racist after this one. You are literally all millennials looking at Gen Z doing weird shit on the internet. Don't worry. Gen Z's time will come too. You're going to open that DM to Sizzle with I'm not autistic, I swear. Okay. Tamam biliyorum. But yeah, we got the Sizzanoti, but in the worst possible way possible, chat. It is what it is. Have you played Deadlock yet? No, I have not. It's on the docket. I didn't get like an access code or anything. There's like hella people in the chat that consistently keep saying like, "Do you want an access code?" I think I'm good for now at least. But hold on. It's literally Overwatch Keckle. I just trust Valve. I trust Valve, you know? That's all I'm going to say. I trust Valve. In Valve, I trust. Is 40 minutes to an hour per game. I'm telling you, in Valve, I trust, dude. So I have a sneaking suspicion that it will be like no matter what. Once it's like fully... Abone değilim ama lütfen bana saatin en başında 3 dakikalık reklam verirsin. Yok hayır abicim, sadece 1 dakika vereceğiz. Verdik daha önce zaten. Yok vermiyorum o yüzden. Here, get ready for the gym. No, we're not gonna do that yet. But yeah, it's like Dota. It's a MOBA, but with shooter qualities. Like it's kind of like Smite a little bit, from what I understand. I've never actually played Smite, so I'm not very familiar. Where do you buy your tank tops, dude? Amazon, brother. Fucking Amazon. Artifact was also a Valve game. We're becoming a MOBA community. No, we are not. Black Myth Wukong today. I really want to play it, but I'm like worried that people are not going to enjoy it. Did you watch the pod already? No, we're going to fire that up real quick, actually. And then I'll get to Lebanon, Israel stuff, okay? And I got to go pee real quick.
You knew his dad for the brother.
Why is Theo so anti-corporate, anti-billionaire, but a Trump dick rider who inhales his bullshit with a smile? I mean, that's like, he's a normie, you know? Like he, in his mind, he's like, I'm interviewing a former president. I think a lot of people just like, don't contextualize it in that same way. It's kind of like, I mean, I'm anti-corporate, anti-billionaire, but I like JB Pritzker. You know what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying? And he's also like charming to him. He's just doing like a regular interview. He's having like a normal conversation. I don't think he has like any sort of political ambitions or aspirations here. Like he's not trying to get something out of him. He's not trying to have like a gotcha or anything like that. It's because he's kind of stupid. He'd admit to being kind of dumb too because he's aware. Yeah. And also, I think overall, like, I mean, he had that point in the Bernie interview too. Like he had that point in the Bernie interview as well, where he was like, you know, you and Trump, like you were the anti-establishment candidates, like, or something like that. He was like, you were the outsiders, right? And like, you know, he said that. Like he said that in that interview. He's like, "Oh, I wanted you and Trump to run together." Like, like that's it. That's it. Like that's literally it. What you see is what you get. I don't think there's like any sort of cynical reason. He's not like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go and make Trump look like more of a human dude." Like I don't think he's operating like that. Dude, I'm kind of sick of everyone giving Theo this "he's so dumb" pass. He's not a child. I mean, okay, but Theo's a college grad. He ain't dumb. There are plenty of people who graduated from college that are definitely very dumb. Okay. Yes, this is a perfect way to explain it. He's unaware of the implications of having a political figure on a show. He isn't trying to be confrontational or glaze him up. He just thinks it would be cool to have a former president on a show. That's it. People don't like when Trump is humanized because it's a reminder that someone who's gone through hardships could turn into someone like Trump, but it's important to show people how they could go wrong. Bro, Theo plays up a character. I don't know how y'all are so fooled by this. He's 44 years old, multiple college attended. He understands what he's doing. It's a bit. I don't think so. Like, I think he's a genuinely curious person. As far as what I've seen, I think he's just like a actually curious person who doesn't think much. I think you guys are, I think you guys are like placing a lot of emphasis on like one, a college education that like immediately spells that you're an intelligent human being, which is far from the truth. Okay. 2, I think that you also don't realize that even people who vote, okay, even people who fucking vote, even people who vote for either party or whatever, don't necessarily have a lot of opinions beyond like, oh yeah, I just kind of voted. Like most people don't think about this the way that you do. Okay? You need to understand that. Most people do not think about stuff like this the way that you do. We're fucking nerds, chat. That's why I'm always pleasantly surprised when I see someone in the wild who does have maybe not like the same interest that I do, but at least like, even if they don't have the theory, right? Their heart is in the right place. Like I get excited when I see that. Like even if someone doesn't have the best way of communicating, like a leftist worldview or whatever, oftentimes if they're and I'm not talking about Theo in this same way. I'm simply this is a sidestep from the conversation. But like sometimes you'll meet someone who isn't like an out and about leftist, would never call themselves that way, right? They would never say they're a leftist. They wouldn't even say they're a liberal. But like they'll say certain things, especially you see this a lot in working class backgrounds, okay? Like people that have actually, seen and experienced poverty, right? Like oftentimes they'll say certain things about their experiences with their bosses and whatnot, where you're like, oh, this dude gets it. You know what I mean? That's why I always have this belief that I stick to, that like the average American is actually significantly more open-minded to progressive policies than the people that you see online. You know what I mean? The people that are chirping online, the people that are like supposedly very educated on this stuff. Does that make sense? Do you think it's one, because it's good content? Two, he's scared of alienating conservative viewers by only having Bernie on? No, I don't think he's making that calculation even. Dude, I'm telling you, it feels like he literally is just going, that's a former president, dude, and he's running for president. It'll be good content. And also, a lot of people will watch it. Would you say that most Americans are somewhat class conscious? Fuck no. It's actually class consciousness that is missing from the equation for Americans. They understand certain concepts, but they don't know how to conceptualize it, if that makes sense. No, Americans are some of the least class conscious motherfuckers on the planet, dude. Have you met Theo? Is he like this always? I've never met Theo Vaughn. He has a certain style and character he portrays on camera, but it's not a bit. It's weird how often people mix those two up. People tend to put on a show of sorts when they're in entertainment business.
Study with him.
Watch him fly.
And he was really talented at that, but ultimately he had to give that because of the alcohol.
I'm new to your community and new to you. Where are your viewpoints on Kamala and the DNC? I was holding out hope that Kamala Harris, because of a couple things that the Democratic Party did, was going to be leaning into a message of like truly helping the American working class. And unfortunately, I didn't really get that from the DNC, and it upset me for sure. I mean, we'll see where it goes. There's 71 days, but some of the high notes, especially like I placed a lot of emphasis on the speech that she delivered on the last night of the DNC, because we don't know how she is going to brand herself. We don't necessarily know what kind of policy she's going to run with. And unfortunately, it's been very devoid of policy in general so far. There's a couple things that they talked about. There's a couple things that she brought forward before the DNC that I liked. Price controls, which is like unimaginably popular, you know, unimaginably popular. So I think that like those things are good. Those concepts are good, but like she's not really running on them. And it spells, for me at least, that this is an old school Democratic Party way of thinking, where they run scared and they try to moderate their positions. I mean, I saw this poll, which is crazy. Support for capping increases on food and grocery prices. Support 65%, opposed 24%. And I joked, I said, oh man, the Chamber of Commerce is going to see this poll and roll out Chris Hardball Matthews one last time to talk about how Kamala will bring out the guillotines at Central Park. Like, I fear that, like, and this was a fear that I had with Bernie Sanders. Like, if I'll explain it in a couple different ways. One, I have this opinion that if Bernie Sanders were to actually make it to the general, we would have fully been able to figure out if you can actually run on super progressive campaigns and win incredible margins. Okay. So we never got to see that because the primary is like locked to the diehard loyalists of the Democratic Party for the most part. Most people don't participate even in the general election, but even less people participate in the primaries, right? Most people, when I was door knocking, didn't even know that a fucking primary was happening. They were pro Bernie, but they didn't even know the primary was happening. And for them, it's like going out, registering to vote, all this stuff. It's a difficult process. You don't get to truly understand that until you actually do it. And like canvassers will tell you, it's a fucking massive effort, right? And because of that, we never actually got to see, even if it wasn't Bernie, it doesn't matter. Like whoever it was, if they were, because Bernie's method was to activate the non-voters and the youth vote, right? But that was never going to happen in the primaries, and it demonstrably didn't happen in the primaries. And it's a major reason why Bernie Sanders lost the primaries, right? Like that was objectively a failure twice, okay? Not once, twice. First time, Bernie was very lucky and even got more popularity than he normally would have otherwise because he was running against an objectively unpopular candidate like Hillary Clinton. Second time around, like I said, it was a difficult endeavor, okay? It was a very difficult endeavor. But I suspect that because there is obviously a lot more people paying attention to the general, I've always had this suspicion that if a candidate like Bernie was on the ballot in the general and was the Democratic Party's candidate, he would be like, he would do Ronald Reagan levels of popularity. Like you would actually be able to activate these non-voters for the general, because then they start actually taking notice of what's going on. Now, there's at least one example I can point to in that regard. Brah, he's 82. Guys, I'm not talking about this time around. I'm giving you an analysis of what went wrong with the Bernie primary campaign as in an effort to talk about something that's larger than the Bernie primary campaign. It doesn't matter that it's fucking Bernie Sanders. He's just one real life example that I'm using to explain to you what it looks like when someone runs on a fucking primary or when someone runs on a progressive message, and then whether or not they are able to activate the non-voters and the youth vote in general. Okay. That's it. Stop fucking talking about here's how Bernie could have won, or stop talking about how like Bernie was actually fucked over by the DNC and that's why he lost. Like, yeah, those are other factors. Okay. The DNC thing is a factor for sure. But like, I'm giving you the actual congratulations. You won emos and furries to your location. What the fuck? Anyway, the closest we ever got to like seeing what it would look like in a general election where you had like an actually outwardly progressive campaign was with Barack Obama in 2008. Okay. That was a progressive campaign and objectively one of the most popular candidates in modern history. Okay. So there is at least like one parallel that we can draw there in terms of like what it looks like when you run a progressive message campaign. Okay. Another issue, having said that, however, another issue that I always felt if Bernie were to run in the general, and this is something that I talked about quite a bit at that time, was how the media would treat him. Because there were already like, Goldman Sachs CEOs and whatnot. They were writing op-ed pieces when it seemed like Bernie might win the primaries about how Trump would potentially be a better president than Bernie Sanders because he's a socialist and it's terrifying for corporate interests. So I was always fearful that even if Bernie got to the general, there was one other aspect of this equation that would probably cook his campaign or had the potential to cook his campaign. What was that? Media influence. Baba soslar geldi şu anda. Yoktu. Because the media is still very powerful in terms of like creating narratives, in terms of like basically gumming up the works, like handicapping a campaign by consistently pumping out like certain kinds of messages, and it's basically free marketing, right? It's basically free marketing. It was endlessly successful with the Joe Biden victory in the primaries after South Carolina, which everybody knew he was going to win. There was around $1.6 billion of earned and free media that the Biden campaign got that played a big role in him clearing out Super Tuesday in states that he never even campaigned at. So for that reason, I've always been fearful that like, even if Bernie were to have somehow by some weird, some weird unforeseeable luck ever made it to the general, yeah, $1.3 billion in earned media. Earned media is a specific designation. Earned media is like is basically like an ad that you are getting from the media, and it's more powerful than like paid media. And that $1.3 billion in earned media only happened over the course of like 2 days, by the way. That was an insane onslaught of positive messages. It's authentic. People do not read that as like an ad. Okay? So I was worried that if Bernie were to ever, by some weird luck, make it to the general election as the Democratic Party's candidate, I thought that the media would do everything it could possibly in its power to sully that process and to handily offer Trump a victory. This is a real fear that I always had. Now, why am I talking about Kamala? I mean, why am I talking about Bernie Sanders and all this shit? That's because the only fear that I have in terms of Kamala Harris running a progressive campaign and putting progressive policies forward in her campaign is the way that I fear the media would actually cook her on it. Okay? They've already briefly started doing it. Okay? This chatter says, clearer explanation of earned media. When there's a news story about you, it functions as an ad. Exactly. Every time she tries to propose progressive policy on stage, is sold with deregulation and neoliberal solutions with progressive language. She's selling the whole building 3 million homes is just deregulation as an example. Every time we get actual plans for these policies, it's just neoliberal nonsense. Any excitement I had over her is going very rapidly every time she shows the actual plan to enact the policy. Yeah, so that is another side of this issue as well, but we're not going to get into that right now, okay? I'm talking about something a little different. So, do you think Kamala would gain more support if she embraced Jill Stein level progressive policies? Do you think that Kamala should be leaning far left in policies to counter the Republican far right nonsense? It's not about far left or far right. I think that she should stick to more progressive policies. Hold on one second. Go grab my food. It's not about like far left. There's nothing far left about feeding children, okay? Or in the way that like Americans understand it. You have to communicate policies that are going to help people. Policies that are objectively popular, okay? That's the situation. There are policies out there that are objectively popular that people pull pretty positively. Okay. Ultimately, people want to vote for someone that's going to give them things. It's understandable. That's the whole point of democracy. But liberals have deluded themselves into thinking, or liberal media has caused the base of support within the party to basically firmly commit to this idea that like politics is about just the Democrats winning or your party winning. It's kind of crazy. So I believe that if a campaign, and we've never really tested it with the exception of 08 Obama, I believe that if a general race from the Democratic Party featured actual tangible ways in improving people's lives, okay, actual tangible ways in which the Democratic Party would improve people's lives, and they actually committed to it and made people believe that they would do this, like they would follow through on these promises, that they would be endlessly successful. Can you stop saying objectively popular since popularity is a subjective thing? No, I won't stop saying objectively popular, because when I say objectively popular, I'm talking about polling data, okay? I'm using it correctly. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, it's not, when I say something is popular objectively, I'm talking about it polls well. Popularity is not subjective in that regard. When something is polled, you're thinking of like popularity as like the cool kids at school or some shit. You're so fucking annoying with the way that you're trying to correct me on something that you're wrong on objectively. Anyway, I'm a firm believer that a big chunk of the Democratic base of support would literally come on board with a lot of these policies that, like even those on Twitter keep saying, oh, we can't have this because it's unpopular. We can't have this because like people won't vote for the Dems. Independents won't vote for the Dems. I am a firm believer that if MSNBC kept saying Medicare for all is the fucking sexiest thing, it's a real winner. And if they repeated that over and over again, let's say in a world where they're not like completely fucking primed to be antagonistic to that sort of thing because of their ad dollars, the revenue that they're generating from the pharmaceutical industry and the healthcare industry. Okay. If they kept saying that over and over again, a lot of these people, a lot of these people on Twitter would also be like, yeah, why isn't she pushing for that? What is happening? Why are so many people asking me if I'm a supporter of Jill Stein? Like, what the fuck is going on in the chat? Are y'all joking? Yeah. People are asking, people are doing the fucking, if you vote for her, she'll win, but for Jill Stein.
He had to give that up, which was a hard thing for him to do, but he had to give that up.
Election day, sure.
Dog, you were the president of the United States of America. How the fuck did you not know? Like, alcohol is a massive problem. Alcohol is a massive problem, but like opioids are like, alcohol is a massive problem because it's like readily available. Okay. Opioids are not as readily available. And even then it's a massive killer. It's so funny because it's like this motherfucker only talks about opioids when he's talking about how Mexicans are bringing over the border. Like, it blows my mind. Like, how the fuck were you how the fuck do you say it at every rally? And there is not even a fucking curiosity behind those eyes where you were just like, let me look into this a little bit. Like, he literally has not looked into it at all. Like, that's actually shocking. That is actually shocking how fucking stupid Americans are, that they literally voted for and will vote again for a guy that is that dumb. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense that this dude literally is just like he's not even interested. Like, he's just saying shit, dude. He is just saying shit. Yeah, alcohol kills more people than opioids per year, except, once again, alcohol is readily available and consumed by a much larger percentage of the population than opioids. So the per capita deaths, I think, the per capita deaths per opioid is like way fucking worse in terms of consumption. I think he's just playing dumb to make Theo feel smart. No, dude, I think he just straight up doesn't fucking know. And also because his like brother died to alcohol, like lethality rate. Yeah. Doesn't that make alcohol worse? The absolute numbers matter in that case. No, brother, we're talking about, no, per capita is obviously going to be, or the lethality rate is obviously going to be more significant because, like, especially at mass consumption, I would say that like something that is so addictive and something that is so fucking addictive and something that's like a massive killer, that there is no social usage of. Like, with alcohol, there is like a shit ton of people. With alcohol, there is a shit ton of people that just drink it and don't become alcoholics. Okay, there are a lot of people that do. Okay, and that's why. And there's a lot of people that drunk drive and kill other people. Like, there is a social phenomena associated with it as well. But opioids are so incredibly addictive and so incredibly fucking deadly. Most people who drink alcohol don't have a use disorder about it. Yeah. And I say this as someone who struggled, obviously, as you guys know. So, like, I'm telling you, it's not like there is a social consumption of alcohol that, like, many people engage in, many people partake in. Well, asking Trump about curtailing business. Holy fuck, Theo, bro, pivoted from the Sacklers so hard. Yeah, he did. Dog, you literally made lobbyists, or even worse than Murad, you look too skinny, bro. That's crazy. Okay, bro, he put lobbyists in charge of the agencies that are supposed to be regulating the industries that they were lobbying the government on. He put industry leaders. He sidestepped lobbyists in certain instances. Like, Betsy DeVos is directly a fucking lobbyist. She was a Secretary of Education. She comes from a rich-ass family who lobbied the fucking government. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, I hate lobbyists. He's currently lobbying the oil and gas industry, bro. I can't believe it. Trump will never do an interview that is not in a controlled environment or with a person who is fucking utterly oblivious to the reality. Like, did he really, though? How do I find this? Look up every single agency appointment that Trump did. Literally, all of the top level officials. Lobbyists lobby the government on behalf of certain sectors and certain corporations. Trump literally cut across the lobbyists and just had industry leaders take over the role of the regulatory agencies. And beyond that, there were also obviously direct fucking lobbyists in the administration as well. That's one lobbyist for every 14 political appointees and 4 times more than Obama had appointed 6 years into office. It's fucking crazy that he's saying this. But of course, what the fuck does Theo Von know about this shit? Like, no disrespect to Theo Von, but he is so goddamn ill-equipped to have this convo. And that's precisely why the convo is happening. Like, you have to understand, like, Trump's not stupid. His team's not fucking dumb. They know he can have this convo and just like portray himself as in a certain light, maybe even humanize himself this way and approach Theo Von's audience as like a totally separate being than he actually is. And that's what's happening here. Yeah, Rex Tillerson, former ExxonMobil CEO, is his Secretary of State. Trump's entire cabinet was fucking lobbyists and also corporate executives. I think that's why they get mad at Theo. People want him to be able to analyze, criticize, and communicate how crazy Trump is. Yeah, y'all are fucking delusional if you think that like he's gonna do that. Okay?
Things that we're talking about.
But they're winning
including
600.
This is a guy, someone in his team literally gave him bullet points and was like, yo, this is how you'll sound smart, dude. Bring up price transparency, dude. That's also a Trump policy, dude. I swear, dog. I swear, dude. You come across genius. That guy's name is also Theo. Yeah, they sound exactly the same. And they're also named Theo, his producer. Price transparency is so fucking stupid. What a stupid, silly, like non-fix to a problem. And then people will cynically turn around and go, Hasan, don't you think it's better to at least know what price you're paying? It's like, sure, but if you think that that is going to change the dynamic of how fucked American healthcare is, you are the dumbest person on the fucking planet. That's the problem, though. A lot of Americans don't think about it like that. They don't think about like the actual reasons as to why this is like being put forward as a piece of legislation. And it's not exclusive to the Republican Party defending the Republican agenda, okay? It is the Democratic Party and its most loyal soldiers as well. Straight up. That's precisely why so many people in this chat fucking chirp at me as well, where they're like, well, Hasan, you want Trump to win. You want Republicans to win. Like, don't you think it's better to just have an Affordable Care Act and not have it at all? Yes, of course. But you know what's even better? Fucking socialized medicine, which is what the entirety of the developed and also developing nations have at this fucking point. We're like one of the only countries that doesn't have it. Oh, it makes me so mad that people are just so incredibly cucked and they think that like their cucked position is actually somehow more intellectual than someone like myself who only broaches subject matters with surface level observations. Hasan is not smart enough to understand, like I am, the cost of doing business. Hasan is not smart enough to understand that, like, you know, these insurance companies have to exist in the way that they do. There is no other alternative. I am a brilliant thinker. It's like, dog, we are unique on the planet, okay? We are literally unique in the developed world. We are even fucking unique in developing nations. In comparison to developing nations and developed nations, we are the exception, not the rule, in terms of like the way we deal with healthcare. You just are brain broken by Reddit and Twitter, where a bunch of like corporate-backed think tanks have created these papers that you read, or at least you like act like you read, and you just like repeat the fucking high-level observations that they put in front of you to come across like you're the smart guy in this conversation. Hillary Clinton did it too. She was like, oh, well, what else? You want healthcare, free healthcare? What's next? You want a pony? What a fucking ridiculous way to run a campaign. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, bro. What are you saying? I mean, he sucks. And he is. This is the worst. Okay. This is the worst part about the Democratic Party. Okay. This is the worst part about the Democratic Party is that because across the board, they're also the same exact level of shills for the corporate autocracy that we exist under. That like, when Theo Von says like Chuck Schumer, dude, it seems like he's always scheming. You know, he's got his hands like this. like I know chat's like geared in on the anti-Semitic, the subtle anti-Semitism there. Okay. But like in theory, he's not even fucking wrong. Chuck Schumer isn't like a big healthcare dude. Every American politician, unless they have told you otherwise, is absolutely deeply vested in the continuation of private healthcare. Okay? Like, it's not, you could fucking toss a rock in that hall and you're going to hit someone on accident that is pro big pharma, pro healthcare, pro private healthcare, anti Medicare for all. Sometimes there are those who even tell you the exact opposite. They tell you that they like Medicare for all, but they're not actually for Medicare for all. There are a handful of American politicians who are genuinely invested in pushing for a ceasefire in Israel and delivering you healthcare or free college or any number of different fucking things. Here's every Republican senator who opposed the healthcare bill. Yeah, but like Democrats also fucking oppose it. The difference is when they pushed for it and Kamala Harris was one of the Dems who was on board with this, like, you have to remember, they did that knowing full well that Trump was the president. Even Big Gretch is anti-M4A, I know. But that's because she's like related to a pharmaceutical executive, right? Focusing on Chuck Schumer is like saying an unhealthy diet gave you cancer when you worked in a Teflon factory your whole life. No, not necessarily. Chuck Schumer is literally the fucking, what are you talking about, dude? Chuck Schumer is the leader of the Democratic Party in the Senate. Like, what? Like, yeah, he's Jewish, but her dad was Blue Cross Blue Shield CEO, and her money came from Harvey Weinstein's crew in Hollywood and health insurance lobbyists when she first ran for governor. Yeah. Chuck Schumer passing Obamacare in 2010 was a mistake. Chuck Schumer upbraided his own party Tuesday for pushing the Affordable Care Act through Congress in 2010. Schumer emphasized during a speech at the National Press Club that he supports the law and its policies will and continue to be positive changes. He argued that the Democrats acted wrongly in using their new mandate in the 2008 election to focus on the issue rather than the economy at the height of the terrible recession. Bro, I'm serious. It really pisses me off how fucking bad politicians are at politics. Yeah, Blue Cross execs helped Whitmer raise cash for governor run. Yeah, there you go. That's how you know she's anti-M4A, okay? Like, it's just nutty how fucking objectively bad American politicians are. Like, they are directly antagonistic. They are directly antagonistic to the well-being of American citizens. I don't know. Why? Oh, I want to do garage shit? I don't know where my fucking keys are at, bro. This is why I hate when liberals are like, bro, Americans are not progressive. Think about the moderates. It's actually the moderates that the Democratic Party needs to captivate. It's like, bro, you have two dudes. You have a dude who's like the most apolitical medium voter ass motherfucker you can get, who is surrounded by right-wingers in his profession, literally having these opinions. Isn't that weird? Doesn't that kind of make you see the reality that like most Americans are probably a little bit more progressive in terms of like individual policies? Like, they might not like the Democratic Party. They might think liberals are pussies, but like the average country bumpkin like Theo Vaughn, who obviously is no longer as much of a country bumpkin as he used to be, obviously, because he's fucking in Hollywood and shit. But like, still, don't you fucking think that like the average American, like if you talk to them, they're probably going to be on board with a lot of this shit? This is how every motherfucker from the South is, but no one wants to acknowledge it. Yeah. That's why I get so frustrated with polling on issues, especially polling on issues that are like untested. There's no counter narrative associated with the issue. And it's just a narrative backed by Republican hysteria. And then people just like run the table and the Democrats run scared. And then they sedate their fucking liberal audience, their liberal team into believing that like they have to do these moderate positions. And liberals eat this shit up. I hate when people pretend like most people in the South aren't just like pretty bad people with stupid beliefs that are generally borderline, if not fully fascist. Dude, I hate when there's only two different types of people that have this issue, have this kind of opinion, okay? A, dumbass liberals who grew up in fucking like liberal enclaves their whole lives, okay? Or B, dumbass liberals who grew up in a fucking deep red district, okay? And their parents were super fucking homophobic to them. So then they develop this like sensibility that every single person is just like their immediate friend circle that bullied them for being gay or some shit. Okay? Like, that's a ridiculous fucking assessment, dude. You just said the entire South is like full of fascists. First of all, where the fuck do you think black people live in America? Okay? Number one, I know your ass is a liberal, so let me fucking use terminology that'll make you feel bad, okay? Like, half the shit you say about the South, you're just saying about black people, okay? This is something that people don't understand. Black people are not represented in the political equation in that way because they live in deep red areas, okay? They live in fucking deep red districts and they're redistricted out of the fucking political equation. But you can't be talking like this. It is a ridiculous way to approach the subject matter, chatter. All right, damn. No, it's like crazy. Come on. I hate this shit. Most people are just fucking normal. They're deluded. Like, all of the events that unfolded for you to develop the opinions that you develop, half of that shit was luck. The other half was genuine curiosity. Okay? You can't just like write off people. It's social conditioning that causes them to fucking be like this. There's hella fucking Southerners in this goddamn chat. Like, it's ridiculous to fucking say, oh, they're so, all of them are fucking fascists. Like, no, they're not. They're just people with the same exact fucking class interest that you have. Some of them just don't recognize it. It's especially frustrating because it's like, it's this idea that like America is like inherently hostile to so many of these ideas, like inherently hostile to so much like progressive policy, when they're not. No one just pushes for it. No one pushes for it earnestly. Yeah, never forget Bernie Sanders won Oklahoma. Okay? Y'all are crazy. Blanket disrespect is only permissible to Britons. Yes, exactly. It's so funny because like I make a lot of jokes about every country and I spend a whole lot of time making jokes about myself, right? White guy from America, I make fun of white guys and I make fun of America quite a bit. And people take it so fucking seriously. Like sometimes I'll see a comment where I'm like, damn, dude, like this person genuinely thinks I hate like every person from the fucking nation of France. No, it's just the British, okay? Calm down. But yeah, ultimately, it's just like, it's all jokes, man. I'm not being fucking serious. Okay? It's always the same shit. It's always the same shit. When I'm making fun of a group of people, I'm making fun of their hogs, okay? Never forget the universality of hogs. That's it. So Donald Trump insulin price caps is a policy that he pushed for, okay? That is, here it is. President Trump announces lower out-of-pocket insulin costs for Medicare seniors. Today, he did it partially for B or D, and Biden got full for both, right? Yes. But even then, Biden actually didn't lower it for anyone outside, though. This is still not a full-blown measure.
Represents the pacification of Gen Z and brain rot. A lot of people.
Okay. Biden and Trump are fighting to claim $35 credit. Fighting to claim credit for the $35 insulin. It was actually a pharma giant's idea. This is one of the funniest parts about this. Okay. It's like, no, dude, you didn't fucking, like, a pharma giant did not actually personally come up with this idea. Get the fuck out of here. Was that your butler that took your plate away? Yeah, he like suspiciously looks a lot like me. I don't know if you noticed. Isn't that weird? It's because I only enslave people who look like very similar to me. My butler. It's nice though because Lamau Heimerat. Oh, okay. People not on Medicare have too long to live to deserve discount shit. Yeah, it's not happening. Would your butler also fix your car? Not really.
You know that for these companies, so what can Moinkers and on Theo
trying to get into politics and become more informed about it? Is Hasan a good commentator to watch? Yes.
Sign up today and get free hot rolls in your first order. Spelled M.
Oh my God, chatter, stop saying fucking no. You guys are such, dude, I don't expect you to be like ridiculous dick riders of mine, right? But like, please, every now and then be for real. Like, there are so many fucking haters I have out there and they do not stop. They do not sleep. Okay. All they do is like, I know you're joking, right? I know you're joking. I know you're probably in a fucking state of panic. At the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break and you're fucking thinking to yourself like, oh, he's going to do a debate again. Okay. But just, you have to remember that there are literally fucking haters out there who are working round the goddamn clock trying to make me look bad to the uninitiated. Like, there's a dude in the chat advocating to watch another person. There's literally people in the chat being like, yeah, don't watch them. Actually, there's like, this person is better. That person's better. Like, it's crazy, man. What is wrong with you? Dude, you got to stop reading all the negative comments today. You're hyper focusing on them more than normal. Bro, have fucking, dude, this is it. This is what I mean. It's like, bro, talk to a person who's an undocumented migrant or an advocate. You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck are you asking the goddamn pigs how they feel about fucking, how they feel about a thing that their job requires them to lie about? You know what I mean? Like, that's what's crazy, bro. You wouldn't have a fucking healthcare pharmaceutical executive on to talk about how insurance is sweet, you know? So why the fuck are you talking to a goddamn border agent, a border patrol agent, about like how fucking Latinos are, you know, coming into the country with fentanyl in their ass cracks and doing rapes? This shit pisses me off so much. Talk to a fucking immigration lawyer, man, or an activist or some shit. Yeah, talk to a house owner about socialism, dude. Fucking do it. Talk to a house owner about socialism. Socialism is when everybody have a house, okay? That's socialism. Socialism is when 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour, you all avoid it. That's socialism, okay? How do you do that? By subscribing. You get gifted subs, that's a socialism. You have $5 or $6 in your pocket and you subscribe to avoid the ads, that's socialism. I didn't run it. I forgot to run it. I did the segue already, but I forgot to run it. I'm running it now. Okay, calm down. I'm running it now. Double segue time. Double jeopardy.
Are there on the ground. And one of the things that we found out was a lot of times they keep arresting the same people because the people that are coming in illegally aren't being prosecuted. That's one of the biggest problems they were saying. What can we do differently to make things safe at the border? It's the fact that a family can't.
I work with SZA. You want her on the pod? That'd be phenomenal. I don't think you're actually... Bro, why do you always read my dumbest chats? I'm assuming this was a bait, right? Like you were trying to bait me. Like, I just don't think you actually work with SZA. It's all right, though. No, I can't tell. Not a bait. What a question. Chatters, and not just this person, but all of you. If you are working with like celebrities, yeah, I would love to have them on the pod. Why the fuck wouldn't I? Of course, I would love that. Hey, yo, I'm dying, dude. This is so... To be fair, aren't border control agents a necessary function to protect the country, even if we could be more open to immigrants like police for borders? The only border patrol agent you need is a motherfucker who just rubber stamps you into the country, okay? Not the way that we currently have the border patrol operate. Hassan, where'd you get that jacket? Please, I want it. It's a ASOS jacket, ASOS, from like 10 years ago, okay? What about the cartels and all that? Great question. If you want to shut down cartels, okay, you have to shut down the way that cartels exist and the way that they make money, which is decriminalizing drugs. You also need to stop, you know, you need to stop giving Americans easy access to an arsenal that they can, you know, give to the cartels in exchange for drugs. What a take. I know, it sounds so crazy. Chatter is going to be shocked when he finds out that other countries have done this and seen tremendous success. Portugal, Caralho, but also, of course, like 99% of the things that I argue for are just like tested and true things that happen around the world, but chatters are uninitiated to it. So they go, that's silly. What's next, bro? You talk about free healthcare? What a fucking dumb communist loser you are. Joe Rogan over Hassan. True, he's so much better than me and so much smarter. That's why he was riding with DeSantis. Yeah, you got to have people make sure you aren't bringing invasive species. That's one thing for sure. Have you seen this? It's pinned in Hoscord. What is this? What the fuck is this, bro? Honestly, like, even without the poop sock, that just fucked my day up. You know what I mean? Like, this is the one time. This is the one time where the poop sock made it better. Like, so it kind of defeats the purpose of the poop sock because it was like a moment of solace. Like honestly, I don't know how, but we arrived at a situation where the poop sock actually improved my mood, and seeing the poop sock improved my mood as opposed to all the other things that I just saw before the poop sock. Anna doesn't agree. She said Portugal only legalized it but kept the culture of bashing them. What? What does that even mean? We're talking about legislation. Like, what, in Portugal they have they legislated the culture? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, and also they're not legal. Exactly. I said decriminalization, chatter. That's why I used a very specific term. I did not say legalization. I said decriminalization. Anna thinks drug use isn't stigmatized enough in America. Yeah. Just like homelessness is not stigmatized enough, and criminals, like, you know, the one thing we don't do enough of, dehumanizing convicts. Why are Anna spokespeople coming out of the woodwork right now? I don't fucking know.
In the middle of nowhere, they said it worked.
To the spec.
At the risk of being roasted, what's the difference in legalizing and decriminalizing drugs? When you decriminalize a drug, like selling large quantities can still be illegal, but the consumption and the carrying of drugs is not. This allows, that is a good question, by the way. You will never be roasted for a good question like this. Okay. This allows people who are drug addicts to be treated as though they have an illness rather than prosecuted and put into prison. Okay. This also allows a lot of rehabilitation opportunities for people that are, you know, experiencing tough times, right? Lamau, to be honest, that depends on your mood or how annoying chat is. No, usually when someone asks a good question like that, I will always answer. Okay. For example, legalization, on the other hand, would make it so that you can have like Pfizer selling the fucking heroin, which is not a good idea at all. Legalization allows major corporations to generate taxable revenue off of selling certain things and even marketing them, depending on how fucking insanely unrestricted the government is. Like, for example, in the United States of America, it's fucking terrifying. Like, imagine we already have like, for example, we have the Galaxy gas, right? It's like a loophole. It's an up and coming drug that people are doing that's just like poking direct holes in their brain currently. I want my Bayer brand Fenty, gimme.
Damn, this guy's good.